able to deal with all of them and focus that energy and channel them into a positive direction. It's another valuable skill. So all of these things come together to hopefully make me the best candidate for you when it comes time on August 24th. So with your help, let's put a doctor in the house. Thank you.
Candidate Bradley Beauchamp. I'm not running for my kids or my grandkids because I don't have any children or grandchildren. I'm running for your kids and your grandkids and 200 years of people down the line that I'm never going to be able to meet, that are never going to be able to tell me thank you when we stop the road we're headed down and turn the vehicle around and push it back into the right direction, the direction of America. Because in 1776, 56 men signed the Declaration of Independence, and they didn't sign it for their kids or their grandkids. They were all wealthy under the crown. They signed it for 200 years worth of people that they were never, ever going to meet in their lifetime, that were never going to be able to tell them, thank you. Thank you for establishing the greatest nation in the world. Thank you for providing me the opportunity for the American dream. And they did it anyway, and they did it at great cost. The majority of them lost everything they had. So I ask you tonight, go home, sell everything you have, give all the money away, and start your life over with what you're wearing on your back. How many of us would have done that when it's the biggest long shot in history against the most powerful nation in the world? And we did it, and we won. And if we don't stop the direction this country's headed, we will go the way of every other European socialist country in the history. Because for the first time, the greatest nation in the world can see the end result of the implementing of the policies that they are beginning now. We can see Greece. And had the Roman Empire been able to see their ruin 200 years before they started putting themselves on that road, they would have stopped themselves also. We've got to stop what is happening in Washington. Everybody out there wants the health care bill to be found unconstitutional. You put your faith in 13 constitutional conservative lawyers in hopes that they win that in the Supreme Court. Why would you not want a constitutional conservative lawyer on the House floor fighting every piece of unconstitutional legislation from the beginning rather than waiting until it is the last argument we can make before we are stuck with it forever? Bradley Beauchamp for Congress. I respectfully request your vote on the 24th. Thank you very much.
Thank you. What a privilege it's been to be here with you this afternoon. And I'm just so proud to be running with this great team of candidates to defeat Ann Kirkpatrick. Thank you all very much. Back in the 1980s, when I was a stay-at-home mom, I started worrying about the future of the country for my children and later for my grandchildren. And I decided I had to do something. So I became a volunteer for a conservative women's organization, and having never been to the state capitol before, went down there and decided I needed to do something and find out how to make a difference. That was in the 80s. We'd seen, about that time, 8 straight tax increases in a row in our state legislature. So I learned it then, and I learned that I could make a big difference. And so in 1992, we established term limits, because in the years before that, you weren't there then, Rusty, but we had the era of Burton Barr, and he was such an entrenched House Speaker that none of the reforms we're getting through now would have ever been possible, because he was so powerful, he stopped it. So that's why I did term limits, and I think today that this is important. But then also, we established Proposition 108, the 2/3 majority, which stopped tax increases cold for the last 18 years. I'm so proud of that record. And then we did ethics reform, passing some of the toughest ethics reform on our state legislature, reforms that Congress has still refused to pass, and I will lead that charge in Congress. But you know, the most important thing today is an issue of freedom. How many veterans are in the room? Raise your hand, veterans. God bless you for your service to our country. Our freedom wasn't free, and we see it slipping through our grasp with the team that's there in Washington. And you know, it was John Quincy Adams that said, "Posterity, you will never know how much it has cost my generation to preserve your freedom. I hope you will make good use of it." Well, good use of it for you today is being here, spending your whole afternoon to learn about the candidates and talk about the issues that matter. Good use of it for this team right here is running for Congress for all the right reasons in the most beautiful congressional district in America.